Welcome, everyone, to our weekly spiritual practice gathering. Thank you for joining us for an alchemical moment together. So let's begin by connecting with our breath, allowing the eyes to be softly closed, to turn within. And I invite you to invite of the phenomenal world to step back and move itself outside your personal space. So that means the circumstances of the worldly experience. That means what you're witnessing and engaging with in that horizontal plane. So all of it that's happening, let it just gently slide back and back and back. So it's living, at least for this time, outside of your overall personal space. And take a moment to feel that difference, that what's happening communally and globally and familially, that it can actually live on the other side of your personal boundary and still be exactly what it is, what it needs to be, but it isn't in your own atmosphere. And notice from there, we can choose what to participate with in a more intimate, shared personal energy space kind of way. But just for now, for this moment, for this experience, notice the phenomenal world can live outside your personal space, your personal field. So breathing into the front and the back of the heart, just allowing that spaciousness to feel it in all directions around you, inviting anything and everything else that is not yet willing to alchemize to its highest frequency of love, absolute, letting it depart now. And just allowing anything else that's not for this moment to step back and dissipate and live on the other side of the boundary of your overall sphere of being. Feeling yourself, inviting yourself to come back and down in your seat, to reclaim your sacred center, your midline, and feeling that extend as your spiritual antenna through the crown towards the heavens, and that taproot from your root down to the heart of the earth, feeling that just organically respond to having more space and really landing in your back body and your base. So breathing here and feeling that reclamation of resourcing with the above and the below, this vertical extension, your inner pillar, that central column of light, the core channel of your nervous system, let all of it really engage in its rightful place without clutter and static and entanglements, etc. So feeling that elongation that goes far above the head and far below the base. And that is you, right here, right now. And so breathing into the heart and the heart behind the heart, energizing the wisdom seat of our being, the very center, the portal to the soul, the heart that's never been exposed or hurt by the human experience or any wounding of this human experience. But this luminous heart, this whole, perfect, complete, intact heart behind the heart. So here is our starting point, right here and reclamation of our body, our being, our center, our personal space, and uncluttering every aspect of our being, allowing the nervous system to lengthen and feeling those nerve strands just dangle and cascade towards the earth for letting go, and just allowing, without any help from us, just allowing anything to slide off the nerve strands to be deposited and offered back to the earth. Just glide anything that's been held. And if you can, gift yourself a moment of feeling all of your connective tissue open and breathe as one unit, and just allowing dissipation and disintegration of anything that's been held in the connective tissue to just exhale out. Anything that's unhelpful, anything that's not yours, anything that's old story, anything that's unsupportive, just with intention, breath, and awareness, let yourself feel a bit unlocked by allowing the tissue to breathe and float as we rest in the center of it all again and let go into the expanse of the eternal presence, feeling that full field of quantum structure. Yes, love, creativity, power, joy, peace that we can let go into. So it's more than a letting go. We're letting go into the realm of the divine. We're letting go into the ever opening, ever unfolding fields of consciousness that is absolute. Letting go, softening, surrendering, allowing, letting go into the flow of and as what I call spirit itself, that which has no opposite, that which is not defined by anything happening in the human experience. So it's not bound by constraints of time or space or humanness. It is absolutely boundless. So feel it, perceive it, imagine it, experience it, allow it. Surrendering into that flow of the eternal presence that is timeless, edgeless, infinite in nature, ever opening, ever flowing, ever becoming. And everything encoded in and as this divine substance. And knowing that this field of animating life essence, this absolute consciousness, is everywhere present in its fullness. It must be where I am, as Marianne, it must be where each one anchored in this prayer field is. That this depth of encoding and divine substance and luminosity and wisdom and power and presence is right where each one is. And so feeling a little bit more of an exhale into, a surrendering into, a letting go into, we invite all aspects of our humanness, as brilliant and as beautiful as they are, to open and allow the universal to know itself more fully as each one, utilizing the unique individualized brilliance and beauty and magnificence as each one to reveal even more of this potent truth, even more of this limitless nature. So knowing all needs are met, knowing that all solutions are here now, knowing that all of the encoding of the entire cosmos lives within and as each one, knowing that each one is fully resourced, fully supplied, fully supported with all that is needed, and to rest in the unfoldment of this living truth, to allow it to be remembered and embodied as presence, as form, and as the formlessness of our entire beingness. So feeling that unification of physicality and essence, feeling the truth of each one as a unified, undivided, yet individualized expression of this allness. So, how amazing to experience love, to experience truth, to experience power, to experience presence, to experience joy, to experience peace, to experience creativity, revealing itself uniquely as each one's lived experience, as the inspiration that guides every moment, as the living wisdom that arises in response to each inquiry, as the life force that energizes and fortifies and balances and harmonizes every aspect of the physical body, as this love intelligence that knows what it's doing, in communion with the soul as each one, knowing that they are not separate. So we know the soul of each one knows exactly what it is doing, even when it doesn't look like it or feel like it. And we allow, with this time, like an unleashment, an opening, a flow, a surrendering into that which cannot be contained by the mind or the body or the human experience. But all of that is an expression of this much broader band, infinite nature as each one. So we bless this unfolding truth and we welcome those that surround and uplift each one, particularly this time today. We welcome the ancient, wise, and loving ancestors. We allow this time for each one to be ancestrally resourced. And I mean way back, like 1,000 years or more. I mean medicine grandmothers and grandfathers and gender blessed beings of the human spectrum of experience. May we invite those who are decisively well in spirit to surround and to hold each one in and as this living truth of their absolute nature, as consciousness itself having a human experience, as living wisdom, as living light, as living truth. And so those who are fully and deeply well in spirit, that are of the living realm known as the ancestors, the elevated ones, I invite a moment for each one to feel who and what has your back, literally, energetically, luminously, to allow those who have lived through some and much of what we're currently experiencing in the human experience. Those who are elevated in spirit, who have things to share, gifts to offer, medicine to bring. And so we rest in silence and stillness for a moment to experience being ancestrally resourced from the ancient ones, the ones who existed before the myriad of cultural and global harms. Feel and drink of the nectar of the nourishment and guidance and grace of the elevated ones, allowing even more of the troubled ones to get gotten. And so if any troubled ones of any of your lineages are living inside of your personal space, we invite the elevated ones to remove them now. We invite the wise and loving ancestors to clear even more fully any influence, any hungry ghosts, any troubled ones that are taking up residence in your personal space that maybe you weren't aware of till this moment. to alleviate your own psyche, your own field, your own nervous system, and to get liberated from any ancestral harms that are playing out in your personal space, your life, and that are contributing to the troubles of the human experience. So we actually invite this to be an elevating moment, a psychopomp moment, where the elevated ones are allowing openings right here, right now, for ancestralization, for illumination, for wholeness of any and all in, around our personal space, the land upon which we live, in our communities. And feeling the immensity of how many elevated ancestors are available to support each one and this necessary elevation of the troubled ones who are influencing the human experience. And when you feel ready, allowing these elevated ones to surround your overall personal space with a blessing, an energetic transmission of the highest frequency to just wrap and surround your personal space, creating an energetic boundary held by these well ones. Noticing your personal space is contained, and you can invite it to be as big, as wide, or as close as feels good to you. So, from this place of well boundaried, ancestrally resourced, in deep realization of what is true, of the truth of who you really are, the truth of who each one is, one with and as the one itself. We give thanks. We sink into gratitude. We immerse in thanksgiving as a way of being. We allow the cascade, the flow, the opening, the waterfall of appreciation for the truth of each one, for this time, for the supportive allies, for the wise and loving elevated ancestors, for the truth of knowing we are not alone, for the opportunity to clear from the realm of the human experience any troubling influence. And we give praise for the living wisdom of each one to join in this moment, to surrender and experience an alchemical opportunity, an alchemical moment. So we deepen into a sense of feeling changed here, feeling transformed, and we allow it to unfold and to reveal itself in an as our living experience in miraculous and wonderful ways. And so gratefully knowing this truth of each one, we give thanks to the supportive allies in spirit. We give thanks for that which has been ancestralized in this moment. We give thanks for knowing truth with a capital T as our very breath, lifeblood, and lived experience. And we know that it's done. It's all already done. And so it is. And so it is. And so it is. And so be it. Mm. You're welcome to stay on after I stop the recording to keep your meditative space or to ask any questions or share anything. You're also welcome to shift into your day. Peace and blessings.